What's up, family and friends? Good afternoon and welcome to this live broadcast. How are you doing today? Hope you are doing great. Of course, let nothing stop you from doing great. Let nothing stop you from being great, no matter what. Especially when it's money problem. Money problem is not problem if you really understand life. If you understand yourself, if you really know yourself, you will find out that money problem is not a problem. Since my life, money never been my problem. When I was a Christian and now that I'm no longer a Christian, since my life, since my childhood, money never been my problem. I never have a money problem that at the end I did not solve that problem. And there's something, you know how we used to believe. We believe, oh, God made a way, blah, blah, blah. No, I went to people, I consulted people, but I also have that option behind me. If I don't have it, then I don't have it. That's it. And if I don't have that thing that requires that money, that means I don't need it. If I really need that thing, if it required money, then I will get it. And I can work to make that money, or I can beg people to give me that money. You see? But God cannot give me that money. Jesus never gave me any money. Although we were brainwashed to say it is God that provides for us. But God never provides for anyone. Nothing. That's why churches need money. That's why religion need money. Without money, their God is useless. They raise money to build their cathedrals. They tell you God built it. They are the ones that are making it, but they say God, 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 God. Everything God. So I titled this Theology. What is theology? Some people, when they hear theology, they think there is anything divine or holy or no. Theology simply means study of God. Simple. That's what it means. And the reason why I want to talk on it is because many of our people, they respect people they call theologians. So when you begin to talk about Bible, about God, they want to know the theological school you attended. Are you a theologian? Which theologian say that? You know, all that. So, study of God. Theology alone, or theology, is enough to teach you that there is no God. There is no living God, Almighty, somewhere, who is all-powerful, all-knowing, and everywhere. It doesn't exist. Because if God exists, there will be no need for theological schools. There will be no need for Bible schools. There will be no need for Bible study. There's no need for man studying about God that exists. And that God is almighty. You see, we study nature. We study ourselves to know, to have knowledge. So, but God, you claim to be almighty. You claim that God exists. In other words, He can do all things. That God is not limited. But you see, you have to go and learn about that God. Like we have been saying, deity is a human being gone wrong, and the people are more important than God. No God appeared and tell you there are people, or no God taught people about people. It is always people that taught others that there is a God. People teach you there is that God you are worshiping. People teach you that. God did not teach you anything. All that God says is people who say that. It's not any God. It is people who say what they say God said. What you call prophecies are statements that your fellow human being made. God makes no statement. God is speechless. God is invisible. God is powerless. And God is man-made. So if there is God, why are you studying God? Think about that. If there is God, do you study about your father, your biological parents, your father and mother? Do you study about them? Your siblings, do you study about them? No, why? Because they exist. You know them, they communicate with you. You don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to tell me the voice of my father. I don't need anyone to tell me the voice of my mother. I just hear that voice. I know that's my father. I know that's my mother. I know that's my sibling. Because I have lived with them, slept with them, do everything with them. I know them. I don't need any prophet to tell me the will of my father, because my father is alive. He communicates with me. I don't need any prophet to tell me the will of my mother, because my mother is alive and communicates with me. And when I'm speaking about my parents, I don't expect anyone from another family to know my parents better than me. I don't expect any man or woman, no matter where they come from, to know my parents, but unless I did not grow up with my parents. Unless my parents abandon me when they get back to me, then another person train me. Then the person that trained me, that's the person I know. You have seen some children that were adopted, or the children that were thrown away and somebody picked them up. After they grown up, knowing that man or woman that brought them up as their parents, suddenly their real parents appear and say, this is your father or this is your mother. You see how confused they are, and they fight against it. They say, no, you are not. This is the person that took care of me. This is the person I know is my parents. You see, they go to court. They fight for custody. You know, it's my child, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes the judges said, this is the parents of this child, not the real parents. The one that brought that child up. That's why people begin to say family is not about blood. It's people that love you, blah, blah, all that. Real family is about blood. There's no reason for abandoning any child or children if they did not destroy African family structure. Africans wouldn't abandon their children or adopting children. For what? You can make children. Why are you adopting children when your siblings also have children? If you are childless, your brothers and sisters have children. Among them, you can have one or two living with you. Instead of you go and adopt somebody you don't know, and after they end up killing you, or they end up making life miserable to you. They destroy that family structure. And today you see people adopting children because they tell you God adopted you. You are not of God, but God adopted you. All that nonsense. Theology. So theology, that's where we learn about all this adoption, redemption, salvation. All these shun, they used to shun us. They used to shut us up. They used the redemption, all that nonsense. We don't need them. We don't need any God. We don't need any knowledge of God. We need each other. We need each other. Yes, family is by blood, not by adoption. You can adopt a child all you want. You better live with your family, you know, your siblings' children, or your uncle's children, or your aunt's children, because they are still your blood. Family is by blood. Let us tell ourselves the truth, not by adoption. Adoption is like property. So if they treat you like property, are you property? Why would they buy you in the first place? And that's why you see all this bride price and all that. You say, no, I'm not a prostitute. I'm a married woman. What do we do with the prostitutes? We pay them to have sex with them. Is it not the same thing they pay? They pay bride price for you to be opening your leg anytime the man wants. What is different between a wife and a prostitute? Because the society say this one, okay, you can sleep with this one. But this one, you say, pay me, you can sleep with me. You pay society to be sleeping with this one. And you also pay to society to be sleeping with it. It's the same shit. But marriage don't require any bride price. And we don't need marriage. Yeah, let me say it, hear it. You believe God created you, right? And all of us came from one mother and one father. You call them stupid Adam and Eve. So why are you paying bride price? Why are you paying bride price? I'm going. Tell me why you paying bride price. If what you believe about God is truth, if God exists, why are you paying bride price? Did Adam pay bride price over Eve? You believe your God made them first. So did God ask you to pay bride price when he made you? When you don't know the date he made you? So at work, as I was sharing yesterday, we're talking about issues of if there is heaven, you know, Christians will die, they won't be here, and the Christians say no, he's here, he still have something to do, or maybe he's here to, he haven't finished enjoying life. I say, how can you say enjoying life? It's like a child in Africa saying he's enjoying life when his father is a rich man in America. No, that child is he's not enjoying any life in Africa. No matter how rich you are in Africa, you are not enjoying life. The presidents, those politicians, those you think that are rich, like the Dangote, whom the Nigerian government made the richest man in Africa. He's suffering in Africa as we speak. He's not. He know that his life is at stake. They can kill him anytime. They can rob him. You know, he has to move around with military men, with soldiers, armed policemen. If he's enjoying his life, you see this place, a senator can walk past here and nobody know him. Even the governor, nobody cares. You see, no matter who is the president of America, I don't care because I still have to go and work and make my money. They are not giving me any free shit. Nothing. And we are the one making working. So after the argument, and I stood my ground telling him what the Bible said, blah, blah, blah. Then after, because he get upset, of course, I always upset theists, people that believe in God. I always, especially Christians, I upset them a lot. So because from whatever angle they're coming from, I know them. I used to be a Christian. I used to be a minister of the gospel. So I have enough proof. I have proof. They have beliefs, but I have proof. Can prove to you that God is not the provider, that God does not exist with your own life. So the guy asked me, after I walk in, you know, the break is over, we walk into the unit. He asked me, what theological school did you attend? I said, fuck theological school, fuck Bible school. I said, they are all trash, they are waste of time. Theological school, Bible school, they are waste of time. They wasted my time and almost wasted my life. The factual truth set me free. I've seen some young people come on Facebook inboxing me. Oh, I want to go to school. Can you recommend me the theological school or Bible school that I will go? I say you don't need it. If God exists, you don't need any theological school. You say God called you. Then why are you going to school? It's like the story of Samuel and Eli in the Bible. You remember that story? They say God called Samuel. Samuel ran to Eli. Say, yes. What are you saying? I'm here. They say Eli perceived it was God. He said, no. When you hear, he said, speak, for your servant hears. But today, the servants of God are going to theological school to learn what God said, or what God said, or what God will say. They learn all that. You can learn how to prophesy. You can learn how to preach. You can learn how to teach. You can learn how to organize church. They teach you all that today. Yet they tell you there is God. They tell you they are doing it in the name of God. If God exists, why am I going to theological school? Tell me. That means that God does not speak. That God does not exist. The God that exists will teach his children. It's in your Bible. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 13. He said, for all your children will be taught by the Lord, and grace shall be your peace. No wonder we have pieces instead of peace. No wonder we have trouble with all these churches, all these theologians, all these followers of God or believers of God. We still have trouble everywhere in the world because God is not teaching them anything. They are teaching themselves what they learn. They are teaching themselves what they want. It's not any God teaching them. If God will teach all his children, there will be peace among his children. But there's no peace among the children of God. Read it, Isaiah 54 verse 13. When God teach your children, in other words, his children, there will be peace. They will have peace. They will have great peace. But the reason why they don't have peace among the children of God, and also they don't have peace in the world, no matter how they tell you it's in Jesus they have peace, they are lying, is because God does not exist. And no God is teaching anyone anything. God cannot teach you A, B, C, D. God cannot teach you 1, 2, 3. You went to school to learn them, and you are giving birth to children who are going to school to learn it, and you are teaching the same children the same thing they teach you, that God teach things. He teach my hand to war. He teach my hand to battle. Where? No, you have to join the military for God to teach you how to war. Let them give you gun. Operate. You can't. God cannot teach you how to operate a gun. He cannot, because God does not exist. That's why they have theology. Theology is a proof that God does not exist. Where you are going to study about God, where people are teaching you about God, it proves that God does not exist. If God exists, God will teach all his children. God will teach all his believers. God will teach all his people. God will teach everyone that calls on his name. You won't need any man to teach you. Is it not also in your Bible? 1 John chapter 2 verse 27. He said, the anointing which you have received will teach you all things. You don't need anyone to teach you, for the anointing that abides in you will teach you. Where is anointing teaching you? When you go to Bible school, when you go to theological school, anointing is not teaching you anything. If you depend on anointing, you become annoyed and you become null and void, because nobody will. How the great men of God today you have, there are people that attended school. You have to attend school. They have to learn from one man. Oh, this is my mentor. This is the person I follow. They pay their tithe to their mentor, and they tell you there is God. Your mentor imparted some anointing or some spirit in you for you to function. They came and ordained you. Then you become a great man of God like them. They are learning from each other, tapping from each other, why they claim to have God. Study of God prove that God does not exist. The God you study to know, the God you have to go to Bible school or theological school to know, the God you have to go to Bible study to know, the God you have to attend Bible class to know, that God is non-existent, that God is useless, and that God is powerless. That God cannot do anything for you. That God cannot do anything to you. Don't fear such God. That God does not exist. Police can do things to you. Police can do things for you. God cannot do it. Your fellow human being can do something for you. Your fellow human being can do something to you. God cannot do it. Your life is the body of evidence. You are the proof of what I'm saying. If I am lying, tell me. God cannot teach you how to drive. I am driving. No matter where you live, no matter where you are located under the sun, you have to learn from your fellow human being how to drive. You can't enter a car and start driving. You say, I enter a car and I start driving. I know how to drive. You went to school to know how to speak or learn that English they used to maybe they write the things of the car. But they tell you, no, it's God. It's God. It's not any God, my people. Look at yourself. Your life is the example of what I'm saying. That God is not the teacher of anything. God does not teach anything. They tell you that Jesus went about preaching, teaching, and healing all in their synagogues. But who is teaching you today? Even Jesus in the Bible tell you, you need no teacher but him. In your Bible, Matthew chapter 23, 8 to 12, read it. You see that all these men of God exalted themselves. All these theologians, all these priests, all these pastors, apostles, teachers, prophets. Jesus never said those, his disciples are all those. No. He did not say they will be teaching people about God. No. Jesus said there is one Father among you all of you are brethren, and that Father is in heaven. And he said there is one teacher. He repeated that teacher of a thing, I think in verse 8 and verse 9, to show you how you say when something is repeated twice in the Bible, it stands for covenant. That's what they taught me in theological school. They taught me a lot of nonsense. And they are not following that. If Jesus said, no one is your master but him, 2 times in the Bible, in the same place, Matthew 23, verse 8 and 9, or verse 8 to 10, let me say verse 8 to 10. If Jesus repeated there that he, the Christ, is your teacher, your master, only one, you have one teacher. All that nonsense you say, Paul say you may have one father, but you have many teachers, that bullshit. Because Jesus never said that. Jesus said you have one father, you have one teacher, and all of you are brethren. You should not call anyone your father. You should not call anyone your spiritual teacher. You don't need any spiritual teacher if God exists. If God is your father, you don't need any other father. What Bible school, what theological school you attend? I said, that's crap. Theological. I said they didn't teach me what I'm saying in any school. You can't learn what I'm saying in any school. But if you look at yourself, you understand what I'm saying. You will agree with what I'm saying, and you will learn what I'm saying, because it's natural. Truth is natural. Truth is not spiritual. Truth is not spiritual. Truth is natural. Look at yourself and tell yourself the truth. God cannot teach you anything. God cannot teach you even how to train your children. They tell you God give you your children, yet the Bible tell you train your child in the way he should go. So when he grows, it's you that will do the training. God cannot train anyone. God cannot teach anyone. That's why they go to Bible school, Bible class, Bible study, theological school. They are going to learn about God. Doctrines of God. They have, you see, how many theological schools they have? They don't have one curriculum. They're not teaching the same thing. This one will teach you God is this one say God is that. Because God is a concept, and then anyone can develop the concept of God, because God is not real. God is just an idea. You can have your own idea. And that's why you see believers get upset when you tell them that God, they tell you have your own faith or have your own belief, believe what you want, and leave others to believe what they want. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not leaving you to believe what you want. If you believe in the truth, why am I leaving you to believe what you want? If there is truth, why am I leaving you to believe what you want when you can know the truth? Why not you dare to know the truth? And the Bible tell you we know the truth. It did not say you will believe the truth. It said you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So you're supposed to understand, my people, all that lie, they lie to us about God, Jesus, theology, things of God. There's no such thing as things of God. There's no such thing as men of God. There's no such thing as women of God. God made nothing. God made nothing. And that's why God cannot help you. In your time of need, God cannot help you. Your phone break now, can God fix it? No. God did not give you phone, so God cannot fix it. It's the people that give you phone that can fix it. Think. You say God created the world. How can God create the world and they cannot organize the world, cannot bring peace in the world? God did not create the world. You ask me, okay, who created the world? Will you take the answer when I give you now? My ancestors did. Yes, they created the world. Will you believe that? You say no. Look around you. Who created what you are using today? What you are having, including you. Who created you? Your parents. It's not God. Man created everything around you. But when you talk about heaven and earth, he says not man, is God. Which God are you talking about? Man also created the God. You are talking about man. Tell you about that God. So think and stop thinking out of ignorance, out of fear. Life is good. Life is precious. Life is natural. Life is eternal. Life is indestructible. Live your life and enjoy your life without God. I am good without God. How about you? Peace.